am worthy of more than working, and work does not at any point show what my worth is. I do not have to work to be worthy. Hey angels, welcome back to another video. I have been wanting to do this video for so long. This video is definitely dedicated to all my moms, all my solo entrepreneurs, every single woman who has been on the self-care struggle bus. This channel is dedicated and curated for women who are ready to evolve and live limitless, live fulfilled, and evolve into the best versions of themselves. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you comment, and share this video with anyone who you feel definitely it would help. So let me begin by first letting you know the power of self-care. What is self-care? So self-care is definitely taking care of yourself, mind, spirit, and body. Now, what does that mean? That means that you pour into yourself on a daily basis to ensure that you're operating out of the best version of yourself and that you are tending to your needs first. Okay? Tend to your needs first. So here I'm going to actually share some tips that really helped me along in my self-care journey to really be able to put me light years ahead and making sure that my mind was right, my body was right, and I continue to develop my spirit. These things have been life changers for me and has really, like I said, it has really projected me light years ahead of where I was, because when you take care of yourself and when you put yourself first, in all honesty, so many other things in your life start to develop, start to increase, and start to be better and more positive. So let's get into these tips. So the first thing I want to go over is the power of self-care actually determines everything within your life. It determines what you think of yourself, your self-concept, your self-esteem, your self-worth. Think about it like this. When you are overwhelmed, when you're beat down, when you are continuously serving other people. So say you have a job and on your job, you're working late, you're working overtime, you're going in on the weekends, you just feel burnt out. How do you actually feel about yourself within those moments? You might feel like, I'm not worthy of a better job. I'm not worthy of doing anything but working. I'm not worthy of doing anything or putting myself first. I have to serve others first, right? You may tend to feel like that, and all of that prevents you from having high self-esteem, high self-concept, high self-respect, high self-confidence, right? And in order to shift those things and turn that around, you have to start at the core of a lot of that, which is making sure that you take care of yourself first with self-care. Self-care is saying, okay, I've done enough work. Okay, I have work. I am worthy of more than working, and work does not at any point show what my worth is. I do not have to work to be worthy. Okay, you sometimes have to stop yourself and say, I'm done working. Okay, I need to mentally get myself together. I might need to read a book. I might need to get in the tub and just soak for a second and just relax. I might need to go get a massage. Maybe I need to go to the nail salon, go get my hair done. Do something for me, to feed inside of me. You have to give yourself what you're giving everybody else. You have to give it to yourself first. Because if you're not straight, you can't be straight for anybody. And think about that. When you're overworked, do you produce the best quality work? No, you don't. When you're burnt out, can you actually, do you have a high capacity of stress then? Or do you have a high capacity to deal with certain things? You normally don't, right? Because you're all burnt out, and we want to stop that. So the first thing is understanding that you have to put yourself first, and the core of that is having a solidified self-care daily routine, and understanding that it's okay to say no, I can't do that. It's okay to have your no be no and your yes be yes. Okay. Now, the second thing I want to go over is having healthy self-care habits. And this segues from the first tip. But basically what it means is making sure that you are setting proper boundaries, making sure that when it's time for you to have time, you actually take that time. You have kids. Hey, I need a break. Let me get a babysitter for, and maybe you don't get a babysitter often, but let me just take a day where I can just breathe and have some alone time to myself. Go on a walk, okay? Take a drive. Go to the gym. You have to have healthy self-care habits so that as you continue to progress and you develop yourself as years go on, this is the core of how you give back to yourself and the root of how you're able to show up for everything else in your life. Having healthy self-care habits really determines how you show up in your life, how you show up in everyone else's life. And people often sometimes look at, well, do I have to have boundaries? Are boundaries really good in relationships? And they are. And in all honesty, self-care really shows how you show up. If you have poor self-care, you're going to have a poor and lacking self-confidence, self-worth. So you might accept more and you might not have proper standards for other things in your life, far as relationships, how you're going to allow somebody to come into your space, how you're going to protect your peace. You have to start with healthy self-care habits. So the third tip I want to go over is definitely looking at self-care as being able to fuel your life. Okay, when you look at self-care fueling your life, you will have a different perspective about making sure that you put self-care within your daily routine. Some of the things that you can do would definitely be having a routine before you serve anybody. You serve yourself. Like, no matter what, it's a standard, it's a habit, it's something I'm going to incorporate in my life, that before I serve anyone, I'm going to serve myself. Okay, making sure that when it's time to say I can't do something, you do it. And the reason why I'm saying this is self-care really projects how your life is going to look years down the line. It projects how your life is going to look in 6 months, in 4 months, in a year. Because when you're beat down, when you're overwhelmed, you continue to initiate and call more beat down and being overwhelmed in your life. It comes back and forth in your life, and it comes at high volume. And in order to prevent that, you have to know what you're worthy of. And a lot of times, doing habits and having proper habits help increase your worth. Think about this. What if in the morning every day you said affirmations? I love myself. You read a love letter to yourself, right? How do you think that would make you feel as it compounded and as time went on versus you not doing it? Okay, you not doing it and you just waking up and the first thing you doing is checking your phone, seeing if somebody text you, or going on your work email to immediately start working. You're going to feel like all your life is wrapped around is work. But when you actually get up and you say, you know what, I love myself, I'm worthy of everything I desire, it starts to actually give you a different perspective and change your mindset even about you. And then you'll realize, I'm not getting up and checking my phone. I'm not doing that. I haven't allotted time for work, and I will work during those hours, and that's it. I have to give myself time. I have to focus on what means something to me, what's meaningful, and what also fulfills me. So always remember, self-care fuels your life. If this resonates with you this far, make sure you smash the like button. And also, I have a video definitely dedicated to a money mindset. You can find that here. It's all about releasing any type of money blocks that you may have. And it also helps, and it dives into manifesting and being able to understand the cause and effect of all the habits that you have and you do, and how your mindset is wrapped around that, and how if you change the way that you look at things, you can actually manifest different things within your life. So I'm going to put that card right here. Make sure that you guys definitely check that out. Let's move on to number 4. So number 4 is definitely being able to identify and understand whether or not you're on a self-care struggle bus, because a lot of people don't really know, or maybe they kind of think that they might be struggling with self-care, or they don't know what self-care really is or how to incorporate it. So let me first start by saying and giving you guys some identifiers in your daily lives that you can tell whether or not you're on a struggle bus. The first thing would be, if, like I said in the beginning, if you're feeling so overwhelmed that when you start the day, you can't wait until the day is literally over, or you're trying to get past as many tasks as you can, because just thinking about it is so overwhelming. Like, you immediately get like anxiety, okay, from the start of the day because of all that you have to do. That is an identifier, a very big identifier. The other identifier is if you literally just have no self-care. You don't do anything. You don't feed your mind. You don't read. You don't do affirmations. You don't journal. You don't sit and meditate for a second. You don't take time for yourself. You are constantly on a go, and you literally have no time for yourself. You're walking around burnt out. You don't go to the nail salon. You don't get your hair done. You don't take walks. You do nothing to clear your mind. You literally take life as it comes to you, and you just try to continue to climb over obstacles as they come. You are on the self-care struggle bus. Another one would definitely be if you feel out of place. Do you feel out of place? Do you feel that like you just can't get on target? You can't get on track. That's because of lack of a self-care routine and regimen in your life. I'm telling you, self-care is the holy grail to being able to do a lot within even your daily life. And the last one would definitely be, there's a whole lot more, but this is the last one I'm gonna provide, is if you're serving everyone else before you're serving yourself. And if you're a business owner too, if you're serving your business before you pour into yourself, you have poor self-care, or you have lack of self-care, or you have no self-care. If you pour into your family before you pour into yourself, if you pour into your relationships before you pour into yourself, if you're pouring into someone else before you're pouring into yourself, your job, whatever, you have lack thereof self-care. So those will be the main identifiers of how you can see whether or not you have been struggling, or if you don't have any self-care within your actual daily routine now. And see, there is power in caring for yourself. And speaking of being overwhelmed and having a lot going on in life, this is something that I definitely teach women and I coach women on, because I really want you to understand the power that you have within, and the power of everything that revolves in your life has on the outcome of how you want your life to be. People say, I want to be successful. I want to continue to develop myself. I want to continue to strive and evolve, right? I want to be this person that conquers, that lives the way I want to live, right? But it also starts with being able to pour into yourself and giving yourself what you need. You have to show up for yourself before you show up for anybody. And these are some of the core things that I actually teach my clients within one-on-one coaching and group coaching, because sometimes we have been conditioned or taught or not taught to actually take care of ourselves, but to take care of other people. And it comes a time when you have to uncondition yourself and actually reteach yourself how to properly care for yourself. So if you are interested in any type of coaching from me, all of that information is down in the description. So feel free to check it out and get on my calendar. Let's talk. So let's move on to number 6 or number 5 or whatever number we are on, right? This is definitely going to be questions that you need to ask yourself. This is going to help you be able to even clarify even more whether or not you currently have proper self-care habits within your daily life now. So the first one I'm going to go over is, do you properly care for your body? Are you eating well? Are you working out? Are you taking supplements to fuel your body? vitamins, right? Are you pouring good things into your life? Do you drink a lot of water? Do you really care for your body and the vessel that allows you to do everything, right? Are you caring for that? So definitely dive into that. And if that comes out to be no, then you definitely need to upgrade that. Okay, moving on to the next one. Do you care for and tend for your spirit? Okay, and what is that? Do you pray? Do you meditate? Okay, do you visualize? Do you go into deep thought and feeling about being positive, knowing your worth, understanding that I love myself. I continue to evolve to be the best version of myself. I'm continuing to grow. I am continuing to look at traits and definitely fall into the great traits and look at my other traits to see what I can change about those. What are you doing with your spirit on a daily basis to really feed your spirit? Because you have to protect your peace. And a lot of times, protecting your peace is protecting your spirit and making sure that before your day starts, that you are giving yourself the best protection by initiating something over your spirit first, whether that be prayer, whether that be meditating and going into a deep spiritual space, whatever that is, make sure and look at that effectively to see if that's something that you're currently doing. The next one would definitely be tending to and caring for your mind. Okay, and this is a very big one because your mental state determines where you are currently, whether you're going to be able to strive from that point and pivot from that point, where you would be in years from now, right? It really honestly dictates a lot about your life, and people don't often understand that your mind is everything. It's everything to your life. Your current state that you're living in today is all wrapped around your mind. Okay, so what are you doing to feed your mind, to give your mind what it needs, right? Are you doing affirmations? Do you pour into yourself with love? I love myself. I'm grateful for all of my abilities, right? Do you pour into yourself? Do you have a love letter that you look at and you present it to yourself and you speak it over your life, right? Do you read books that will enhance your knowledge, that will enhance and get you thinking on a different level? Are you working on looking at the thoughts that you have and that pops up and changing any negative thoughts into positive thoughts? What are you doing on a daily basis to make sure that your mind is tended to and cared for, right? So that's something else you want to look at to see whether or not you have proper practices that you're doing today, and if not, enhance them. And going forward, when you think about self-care with these acronyms. S is for self-care being your superpower. E is to eagerly attend to yourself. Make sure that as you eagerly take care of other things, that you're eagerly taking care of yourself too first. L is definitely for leveling up the way that you care for yourself. So now that you know whether or not you have self-care or you don't, make sure you level that up. Even if you think that you have a good self-care routine today, level it up in some way. And it might be doing something extra at the end of your current self-care routine, trying something different, doing a different meditation, incorporating new affirmations, but enhance it and level it up. F would definitely be fall all the way forward in love with yourself, because you have to love you first before anyone else can love you, right? C is definitely for calming your mind, taking yourself to that deep place and peace within your mind to be able to calm your mind, calm your environment, and really be able to give yourself inner self peace. A is definitely for attending to your body. Attend to the vessel that is the vessel that allows you to do everything you do in today's world, right? And to show up in this world in the physical form. Take care of that and attend to it. R would definitely be rejuvenate your mind. Get in there and really go hand in fist over anything that is keeping you in a stagnant place, that is keeping you with a lacking mindset, and that is just purely negative. It's time to activate your inner beast mode and really get all the way into the negative parts of your mind and your mindset and really start to change that and evolve those things. And the last one, the final one, and the most powerful is evolve into that undefeated woman that you know you can be, that's deep down inside of you, and that is crying to come out. Don't sleep on yourself any longer. Do not play small any longer. It's time to really, really honestly evolve and become undefeated. I hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching thus far. If you haven't already, I also have a video on habits. And it dictates my journey with changing my habits, which will be super helpful for you. I'm going to link that video here in the card, so make sure you actually check that out. I'll also have everything I mentioned in this video down in the description, so make sure you check that out. Don't forget to make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe if you have not already to become a part of the Angel Gang, and you share this video with anyone you feel that it might help. Until next time, love you guys. Bye.